Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Elle and I'm an interiors and lifestyle blogger. Recently restarted up my YouTube channel and I really wanted to include a few mini shorter videos because a lot of the ones I've done previously have been like epic movies. I really wanted to just kind of create a series of interior styling tips, everything around interiors because it's a subject that I absolutely love. Mini videos that you can easily digest and help sort of improve your interiors, the way you live in your home. So this is the goal and this is the first one, and we're starting with my favourite subject, which is coffee table books, particularly the top 10 that I would recommend you have in your home. So a little background on me and my addiction to coffee table books. I have an unhealthy obsession with coffee table books. I don't want to say the true number of how many I have in case my husband decides to ban me for life, but it's up there. Let's just say it's a lot more than the 10 that I'm about to show you. I have them in a variety of subjects. I have them from everything from fashion, back when I studied fashion for uni. I have a lot in interior styling. I have a couple gardening ones. I love coffee table books. One thing I do want to mention along with my obsession with coffee table books is that it is a life dream of mine and a goal to write my own coffee table book, or rather write several coffee table books. It's something that I've always wanted to do. If I can make it happen, I'm gonna try. But yeah, it's a goal, it's a dream goal up there. That's how much I love coffee table books. The one thing I would say is, like, yes, I do mainly use them for decor. I think a coffee table book is a great and easy way of injecting personality in your home. It's a great way of decorating, creating, you know, height and interest, and a way for guests to sort of get to know you a bit more without you having to say anything. But they do get used. They're not just there to sit on my coffee table and look pretty. They get read. I love sitting down on a Sunday and flickering through one. If I need a bit of inspiration, I just get one out and I just start reading and looking at the pictures. But yeah, they do get used. They do. They really do. So with this video, I wanted to introduce you to the top 10 interior coffee table books that I think everyone should have in their home. The one thing I will say is you do not need to go and buy all of these straight away. My goal with this video is to let you know about my favourite 10, and hopefully you'll find one, two, or all of them that you really want to purchase for your home and have a little peruse over. So that's the kind of plan with the video. So let's dive in with my top 10 interior coffee table books, starting with number 1. Okay, so the first coffee table book I'm going to start with is an oldie but goodie. I do hope it's still available because I think it's a great starter book. This one is Cupcakes and Cashmere at Home. This is actually her second book. She's written one previously that I think was just called Cupcakes and Cashmere. It's somewhere in this house, but this one I particularly enjoyed the most. Obviously it's about the home. It's a great little book. It's easily affordable, but the one thing I like about it is great for just starting in interiors. It very much goes through room to room, and there's a little bit about entertaining and floral decorations, parties and stuff like that. But the thing that I like most about it is that it divides it into own and rent. So for me personally, like, that really helps for me as someone who loves interiors, but I rent at the moment, so I want to inject some personality and interior into my home, but obviously keep my deposit at the end of the day. And I think this book does that really well. Before she actually photographed this home, she actually rented, so she actually has experience in both owning and renting very recently. So the thing that I like about it the most is obviously she speaks about how she decorated her rental home versus how she's done her own home, and I think it's just great for those little tips and stuff. I also love at the back about the outdoor parties and entertaining and gathering. It's something I love to do. I can't do enough of it though because the house is so small, but one day I'm gonna have the biggest gatherings of friends and family over ever. But yeah, a great little starter book. I think this would be a great little present for somebody who is, you know, going off to rent for the first time ever, or they bought their first home, or just, you know, something like that, any interest. It's a great little starter coffee table book. So the next coffee table book is Habitat. This one I don't read enough of, and I really should. I just had like a flick through just now and I was like, oh, why do I not get you out more often? It is, of course, an interior guide. It's about the field of decorating, and it goes into a little bit more than just pretty pictures. It's got some really good, like, actual advice in here. So one thing is about choosing the right rug for your space. Obviously, that's so important because the wrong rug can completely throw off a room. Honestly, it's like one of my pet peeves when people get the wrong size rug for their home. I'm like, no! There's also stuff like about how to style with charm, adding like personality into it, you know, adding you know, how to hang up artwork and where to hang up artwork, the right way to do it. It's just such a great little kind of guide. I would say if you wanted like an all-around one, this is the good choice for it, because it is just an overall good little book that I think everyone would enjoy reading. For me as well, it's a neutral. It's great in my home because, in case you can't tell, I love neutrals, so the spine is just perfect, but putting up on my bookcase and just having that little moment. I know, I just love this little coffee table book. I need to read it more. This is definitely something I'm going to read after this video. Get a bit more inspo. The next coffee table book immediately went on to pre-order the minute I saw it was being announced. It is The Love of White. It is by the founder of the White Company, which, in case you aren't aware, is one of my favourite interior stores here. I am obsessed with the White Company. I have a pillar candle pretty much in every room of this house. I absolutely love them. I've got obviously reed diffuser right there. I absolutely love the White Company. Owning White Company bedding be like premium for me. It's like on the goals list of becoming an adult. This book is really, really nice. It's obviously about the white and neutral home, but it goes into a bit more, which I find a bit more interesting. So in case you aren't aware, the White Company has like 3 distinct sections in their kind of store, which is city, coastal and country. And this covers pretty much everything. So it goes into like each of the rooms, like kitchen, but it talks about a city kitchen versus a country kitchen versus a coastal kitchen and how you can decorate for those styles and everything like that. So it's a great little book for that. I would say if anyone is a die-hard White Company fan, get this for Christmas, birthdays or whatever, like get it on there and stuff like that. I would say for anyone who loves a neutral home, it's a great one for that. Say anyone also wanting to blend styles, it's a great book for that. If you can't tell, love this coffee table book. The next book I'm going to talk about is a little niche, but I do think that anyone who doesn't own their own home should have this book. Maybe a little bit biased, and I'll tell you why. This book is called Rental Style. It is by my friend Chelsea from City Chic Decor. It is such a great book. It's so good. It's about, you know, taking ownership of your interiors and turning your temporary house into a home. Now, the reason why I'm biased to this book is if you flick over to the kitchen section, you may see a familiar room. So for those who followed me for a while on Instagram or the blog may remember this version of the kitchen. Obviously it's had a recent change, so it's like 2.0 kitchen, but this is my kitchen in a book, which for someone who wants to write their own coffee table book, this is the starting point. When she asked me to be a part of this, I was like, ah! So happy, so excited, and it was just such an honour. Aside from the fact, obviously, I'm biased because I'm in this coffee table book, the main thing that I do like about it is that it's such good practical advice. It challenges people to take on their rentals and decorate them the way they want to. I'm all about that. Renting is becoming such a popular thing. It's becoming unnecessary for some people who can't get onto the ladder, and I just, you know, people aren't doing short-term lets anymore. We're going into years, half decades, this, that and the other, and I think for such a long time that you live in a space, you can't have it not reflect you and be somewhere that you want to spend time in. So this book really does help that. You don't have to take every tip. You may take one, you may do the peel tiles backsplash, or you may cover your countertops, or you may change the knobs and everything like that. But this book, honestly, if you know someone that's about to start renting, get them this book, because it will be something they'll enjoy and it'll just spark some creativity, and they may want to do nothing and they may want to do everything. Next book we have is another favourite. This is Abode. It's about thoughtful living for less. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I saw someone had this book and I thought, oh, I'm gonna get it because I like your style, and then when I saw it said thoughtful living for less, I was like, I wouldn't say I'm a maximalist. I'm not someone who overclutters everything, but I'm not someone who likes a plain place either. I like a little bit of interest and personality, so I was a little bit worried, but actually it's really, really good book. The one thing I like the most is that, like the Habitat book, it has like some practical tips. So this one taught me about how to remove a door and how to remove a frame, which is what inspired me to take the doors off in the downstairs area, so we have a bit more of an open plan living space. But the more you read into it, it's actually just a bit more about kind of going back to the neutrals and the naturals, and rather than covering things like your beams and just making it like an all white interior, it's like embrace the wood, embrace the naturalness of everything. So I did really enjoy it in the end, although I was scared by the title. I thought, oh, this is really good. If you know someone who is a minimalist, they'll love this book. If you know someone who likes to get a bit more like handyman and, you know, wants to do a bit more than just stick paint on the walls, it's a good book for them as well. Okay, the next book I'm going to talk about is slightly off the interiors subject, but still within the circle. You know what I mean? It's in the field of interior decorating and it's flowers every day. This is such a pretty book. I absolutely love it. Again, a neutral. It looks great on my fireplace, great for stacking, but this book is just so beautiful. So it's separated into seasons. It's all about decorating with fresh florals and how you can do it. There's just some great ideas, like centerpieces, little mini displays, Christmas garlands, which all about next year. Like this year I'm gonna do a proper real garland. But it's such a beautiful book. If you know anyone who is obsessed with floral arrangements and has like a subscription to one of those flower delivery services, get them this book because I think they'll absolutely love it. It's just great for ideas. It's not one that I whip out every single time all the time. It's one that very much when I'm like I need a little bit of inspo, I do navigate and gravitate towards this book. I just think it's such a beautiful one, especially, you know, at Christmas time, at Easter, all those kind of special like seasonal events. It's a great one to whip out and just sort of when you want to give your home a seasonal refresh and you want to incorporate florals into it. This one is the book to go to. The next one is a bit more of a lifestyle book. There's very much interiors based in it, but it kind of covers a bit more of the lifestyle range. This is At Home in Joshua Tree. Now this one is all about desert living, which there ain't no deserts here in the UK, but I am very much about this lifestyle. If I could say I had any sort of interior style, I'd like to say California modern or that kind of neutral, airy look with a bit of depth to it, and this book kind of plays into that so nicely. Oh, it's just a beautiful, beautiful book. It goes into everything, so it does start in the home section about kind of the paints you can use, sort of how you decorate with bedding, all that type of stuff. Then it goes into a bit more about desert living, so there's a section about insects that you may find out in the desert, the trees, drinks that you can make, all that sort of entertainable living. The one thing I loved about this, which is where I learned about the eucalyptus in your shower. So if you hang eucalyptus near your shower head, as you obviously have a shower, the steam, you know, helps create this gorgeous spa-like scent in your bathroom. So it's something I'm like, oh, I need to try that out again. So it's great with all kind of those tips and stuff like that. It's just like a great book for, you know, imagining that you live somewhere else and taking a few bits so you can always feel like you're on vacay. It's a good one. You know anyone that absolutely loves California, they will obsess with this book. If you know anyone that just wants a simpler, slower pace of life, they'll probably love this book as well. It's just a great one. And again, another neutral that looks great. The next book is a hefty one, and again it's more on the lifestyle one. This one is called Eat, Drink and Nap. This one is by the Soho Farmhouse. There's two books. I know there's a blue version that I'm desperate to get my hands on. I don't know the name of that title. This one is very much about, as it says, eat, drink and nap. So the Soho Farmhouse is obviously a collection of hotels and sort of club. Yeah, club I would say. It's a club that you can be part of as a membership. They obviously have beautiful interiors. It's like the Soho Farmhouse, Soho London, all that jazz, and it's all stuff from there. So there's a bit about how they decorate the hotels and how you can do that in your home. There's a bit about the food that is available at certain houses. There's some drink stuff. It's a great kind of all-rounder. I'd say for anyone who loves Soho Farmhouse or wants to live that lifestyle, this is a book they'll want. I would also say for anyone that loves a neutral, this is a book for them as well, because my god, that is just beautiful, like that, seeing that spine. And again, I would say it's someone who wants to escape a little bit, wants to bring a bit of Soho into their house, you know, have a good cocktail or something like that. It's a great little book. I would say as well, if anyone is as addicted to coffee table books as I am, they need this one on their list because it's one of those premium books that everyone wants. Again, I don't read this as often, mainly because it's always underneath like two other coffee table books, so it's a bit of a chore to get to, but when I just want to have that kind of sophisticated London living moment, which, you know, sometimes happens, this is the book that I gravitate towards too. Okay, we are coming to the final two coffee table books. This one is the most recent coffee table book. This one is the one that I'm not sure what I was expecting, and then when I got it, it was 10 times better than I thought it was going to be. This one is called Made for Living. It's by Amber Interiors, which, if you don't know, Studio McGee, Amber Interiors, my top two people that I follow on Instagram and absolutely obsessed with their homes. I am so glad I got this book. I mainly got it because she said she was doing a book, and again, went straight onto Amazon and pre-ordered it. But when it came, I was like, this is such a joy. This is an absolute joy. It breaks down interior styling and that kind of neutral mixed together, vintage, neutral, like style that I am obsessed with. But it goes into a bit more than that. So it's not broken down by room like most books are. They normally break it down by like living room, kitchen, bedroom, etc, etc. This is just broken down more by the steps that you would take in terms of remodeling or, you know, completely changing over the interiors of your home. So first it talks about obviously paint colours and how they work, which kind of shades you should get. So obviously, you know, you have to take in consideration where your north-south face light comes in to determine what type of white paint. You can't just get a white paint, you need to consider these things. It also talks about how to embrace the dark and, you know, painting with a dark paint colour. It goes into form and function, so really how you shouldn't just buy furniture for the sake of it and really lay out how the room is going to look and everything like that, which is something that I'm going to start incorporating more into thanks to reading this book. And how to mix and match and just make it more lived in and kind of pairing those brand new pieces with vintage pieces. If you can't tell, I am obsessed with this book. I have read this religiously probably every week since I got it. Again, just sort of inspiration. I particularly pick it up when I'm doing an interior makeover. Certainly when I did this living room makeover, I was constantly referencing to this book about how she was doing things. I would highly recommend this to anybody who loves interiors as much as I do, who loves coffee table books. More importantly though, I would recommend this book to anybody who is about to build their own home or remodel, they're doing an extension or something like that, or they just bought a brand new place and it's going to be sort of like a blank slate for them for interior decorating. I would 100% recommend this book for them. I think they'll just absolutely enjoy it. They'll get so much great practical advice from it and they'll get some great inspiration as well. And then my final book is probably my favourite, I would say, apart from the newest one. This is probably an oldie but goodie favourite. This is Homebody by Joanna Gaines. If you don't know who Joanna Gaines is, she is obviously one of the co-founders of Magnolia with her husband. In particular, the whole like compound, I want to say, in Waco, Texas, of the bakery, the restaurant, the interior shop. It's a whole thing. If you jump down the Magnolia hole and see what it's all about, because you won't come out of it and you'll be like, I need everything. In particular, she hosts with her husband one of my favourite interior TV shows, Fixer Upper, which I never get on Sky, which I'm so mad about. I have to either look for it on YouTube, like clips that people have done, or I have to wait until there's like one random episode on the home TV channel and like it's at 3 o'clock at night, so I have to like record it and watch it later. But absolutely love Fixer Upper. This one is more along the traditional like coffee table books in terms of split by room, so it goes into the living room, hallway, etc like that. Joanna is so much about making your home look lived in and not new. So even if you're building like a brand new home, you want to bring in those vintage elements that make it look like it's been around for hundreds of years. So she's all about kind of making things a little bit imperfect but on purpose, and that's something I absolutely love and want to take when we eventually buy. That's the things I'm thinking of for our next home, when we can do a bit more than what we can do in our rental. There's some just great advice in it, practical advice about thinking about lighting and stuff like that. There's a great section at the front of the book that talks about sort of the different styles of homes and how you can break that down and recognise it as your own. So traditional, boho, farmhouse. I will say obviously for the UK viewers of this video, this book is very Americanized. It's not the same sort of interior styles you would find in English homes, but there's elements you can definitely take and you can definitely see different styles. So for example, I would say farmhouse is very much countryside living and that kind of thing, traditional, classic, etc etc. There's a great bit at the back if you wanted to use it. Obviously I don't draw in books, so I never would, but there's a great little section at the back which is a bit kind of like a section where you can plan out floor plans, write down stuff, very much make notes. If you're a fan of Fixer Upper or the Magnolia like style, this is a book. Again, I would say this is a great book for anyone who's recently bought a brand new home or is about to build a home. This is a great one. I'd get in there before they even start planning or anything like that, because it may change their minds about a few things. If you know anyone that is an interiors lover and an interior designer, it's probably a great book for them as well to reference. Just again, an overall great book, and it is a chunker. That is a proper coffee table book. So that is it for my top 10 coffee table books. I do hope you found some inspiration and maybe want to purchase some. If you do purchase any off my recommendation, please let me know in the comments below which ones you went for and if you love it as much as I do. I'd just love to hear that feedback. I hope you enjoyed all also this bit more mini video rather than the epic ones I've been putting up in the past. I do want to do, like I said, a bit more of these smaller videos just about interior styling, little bits that you can pick up as and when you need them. If you have any suggestions for any of the videos you want to see, leave me a comment down below or let me know on Instagram or anything like that. Happy to hear some thoughts and suggestions because I just want to serve you guys with inspo and, you know, knowledge. So again, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, comment, like, all that jazz. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear any more advice or inspiration, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye!